Hey everybody and welcome back to Crypto Kings. My name is Matt and in today's video we have a lot to talk about, including why Shiba Inu recently dipped an awful lot. And this is something that does not make me happy in any way, shape, or form, but I want to give you guys some information. Hopefully we could help recover. So if you guys are new, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. So if you guys have not seen exactly what is going on here with SHIB, right now we are headed down into the 50s. And this is something that, we've been talking about a long time on the channel here, and unfortunately the idea here is that we were hoping that SHIB would be able to, at the 60 line, bounce off in just about every instance. That was the goal. And you guys can see, of course, there are instances in which it has bounced back from that 60 line. Now, the problem is, right now, it has fallen a lot lower than that 60 line. We went all the way down to around 52, and this is unfortunate. I know there are a lot of people out there, who bought at a higher price, and what we are seeing now is essentially where people are purchasing SHIB at a price that is really below where the majority of people bought. So again, when we check coin market cap here, you guys can see we're at 55. Now I'd say the majority of people over the last run probably bought it at least 60. I definitely have been following this since May. So for someone like myself, I did purchase SHIB a long time before, but back for a lot of others, when it comes down to it, man, out of this recent run, for the folks that bought at 88, this is a little stressful. Again, it's a 20% decrease here on the day, with a 20% decrease in market cap as well at 30 billion right now, which has sent it down to 11 here, putting it right behind USDC, with Doge sitting way above now at $35 billion, which is just insane. The volume here is up a lot, and this is just a lot of sell volume, guys, which is absolutely terrible. So the question is, why has this happened? How did the sort of momentum behind this manage to crash? Well, there are a couple of theories here. Before I get to them, guys, make sure to check out Webull. Top of the link down below in the description if you guys want to get started trading. Of course, you guys can trade Shiba Inu over there. You can trade stocks, crypto. Top of the link down below in the description, guys. And of course, if you guys get started, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. Of course, if you guys use my link, I get a couple free stocks as well, and I always do appreciate it. When it comes down to it, guys, the fact of the matter is I think a lot of people were waiting for a kind of bounce back over here and just never saw it. And there are, a lot of different indicators that we could take a look at here to really get an idea here. We could look at the moving average cross, which of course is a good one. That is definitely a strong indicator in this case. And you guys can see, of course, that when the moving average, the red crosses the green, that typically is a good sign. And of course, when the green crosses the red, that is typically bearish. Now, in terms of the actual movement, we had a lot of theories about this being a symmetrical wedge, and when it comes down to it, it still kind of looked like a symmetrical wedge, and really right now, it does look as if this could be a kind of falling wedge here if this is the case. It's just the issue is this drop was so volatile, probably just a flash sell-off of sorts by some whales. The fact of the matter is, this crash was so volatile, this instant drop was so volatile, I think a lot of people now have developed a kind of FUD about re-entering, and that is definitely a problem. When we check the relative strength index, you guys can see here, we are way below here. We are now into the 20s, which is just terrible, showing that SHIB is being way oversold. This is not within the realm of what would be considered a normal market movement. We are now within the realm of being oversold, which is terrible. So our goal is, of course, to get somewhere back here. We do have against a lot of headroom, so that does give us the opportunity to come back, but we definitely would rather be somewhere at least in the low 40s to have the opportunity to have explosive growth. Again, this is really a shocker to me because every indicator that we were looking at here was showing that this was bullish. And of course, you guys can see we have the triple bottom here. We have one bottom, of course, another bottom, and another bottom. We could encompass these together if we want, which really creates a triple bottom, which you guys can see is typically a very bullish movement. Something like this is extremely bullish, and the issue here is that this triple bottom just did not execute. Now, is it possible that what we're looking at right now is the extension of this? Is it possible? Is it possible that this, is the extension of the final part of the triple bottom before, an insane bull run? That is very possible. You know what I mean? It is possible that this is just the extension of this, and we could possibly see a very sharp bull run after. That is quite possible, but again, this is just a little bit more volatile than my liking. Actually, a lot more volatile than my liking, and shows that it is very difficult to account for what whales will do, because in the end, a lot of whales have a lot of control over SHIB. I mean, there's a lot of control over Shiba Inu, and what it comes down to when, of course, you see, SHIB here, of course, on Etherscan. With the 900,000 people, there are still some very, very big whales that, have an awful lot of influence over what's going on. Of course, you guys can see we do have some exchanges here, but there are a lot of whales who do have a very large influence about what is going on here. And again, you guys can see, there's some pretty big money in this that has a lot of control. So if any of these guys decide, hey, I'm going to sell, that creates the start of a very volatile dip. And of course, that could be accentuated by other whales doing the same thing. There are a lot of tokens out there that don't have this kind of whale power that SHIB has. And again, even with 900,000 holders, the majority of the 900,000 do not have a lot of control over the price, and that definitely gets difficult. Now, another thing, of course, if you guys remember from yesterday, the Shiba Inu whale, the biggest one, the guy who turned 8,000 into like $4 billion or whatnot, he moved 2.4 billion bucks worth of SHIB into 4 different wallets, sending 600 million to each wallet. So that definitely does make it extremely, extremely difficult to sort of get an idea of what he is planning. Of course, in my last video, I talked about the fact that a whale purchased $750 million worth of SHIB last week. So again, you have movements like that, and that those are, inherently bullish to a degree. But when it comes down to it, if a couple of whales do something that, kind of shocks the supply in the market, that definitely can cause a lot of issues. Now, when we check the Fibonacci retracement, you guys can see, of course, it is going to give us some data here. It has not particularly plotted out this crash. So when we look at this, let's not include this crash. So if we are to not do that, we have the high of the run, of course, which is 72, the low of the run, which is 62, and essentially we have the option, if for some reason this little flash crash here is just a flash crash, we could recover, get back here into the low 60s, and of course, kind of teeter below the 23.6% line, which would be, again, a line of resistance where the 65 would be. The only concern here is, again, are these candles going to be strong enough to resist this flash crash of whatever you want to call it, this flash drop, and be able to push ourselves back into the fib range? That is very tough to tell. It really depends on whether or not this is long lasting and it quickly gets back above 60 and my theories were right and we're all happy and it's back above 60, or do we end up continuing to slip? So all around, guys, definitely a little bit concerning, but I do hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hopefully everything was laid out well. Hopefully I made you guys feel a little bit better, at least, about the future of SHIB. Of course, again, I still believe in 6 months from now SHIB will be worth a lot more than it is today. That is my personal opinion. So with that being said, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and check out Webull. Top of the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much. Name is Matt. See you guys on the next one. Peace.